never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Today here on the channel, I want to talk some National Football League. First, let's talk about the AFC and NFC championship games that are both coming up tomorrow. On the AFC side, we have the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. On the NFC side, we have the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. Now, personally, I am pulling for the Lions. Do I think they're going to win it? No, but they are the real underdog story. So as long as they're in it, they've got a chance. So as long as they're in it, I'm going to pull for them. And if the 49ers are going to win one, it needs to be this year. I believe I heard earlier in the week it's their third straight NFC championship game and fourth time in 5 years. And they just cannot seem to get over the hump and win the Super Bowl. And before long, Brock Purdy's rookie deal is going to be up, and they're going to have to decide if they want to give him a max contract or look elsewhere. So if they want to win one, they need to go ahead and do it this year. Now, the Baltimore Ravens are the best team in the NFL, and it's not close. But if you're a longtime sports fan, you know that sometimes the better team just doesn't win. But the best two teams all year long have been Baltimore and San Francisco. I expect both of those teams to win. But I also want to talk about some NFL coaching changes. I know Thursday I talked about the college football head coaching changes. I've mentioned a couple things about the new head coaches with their new teams, but I haven't talked about all of them. So I want to quickly bring up all of them. If you have any thoughts on any of this, as always, please feel free to let me know. The Chargers, of course, hired Jim Harbaugh. The Panthers hired Dave Canales. Now, the Panthers are an absolute abomination. They're an embarrassment to football. They're an embarrassment to the NFL. They're an embarrassment to their fans. They're an embarrassment to both Carolinas. They're an embarrassment to Charlotte. Their owner got caught earlier this year throwing drinks on somebody. I mean, what's going on with the Panthers is an absolute clown show. But Dave Canales is young, so I don't blame the Panthers at all for going after him, because if it works, hey, you've got a bright, young coach. If it doesn't work, you suck so bad it can't hurt you any worse. There's just no possible way, unless he gets into some off-the-field stuff, that he can do a worse job than where they are right now. The New England Patriots hired Gerard Mayo, who seems like he's been a part of that team since the 1950s. because he played for them. Then as soon as he retired from playing, he went into coaching for the team, and now he's the head coach. So he has been a lifelong New England Patriot. The Raiders hire Antonio Pierce, who I think is the right choice for them. I actually feel like and think after all these years, the Raiders finally found the right coach. The Titans hired Brian Callahan, which makes no sense to me. You're talking about a guy that nobody knows anything about. He's the son of Bill Callahan, who used to be a head coach, and he was terrible at it. And you run off Mike Vrabel, who was experienced and who, for the most part, except for the last couple of years, won. All the players liked, all the players respected him, and you run him off to bring in a guy that nobody knows anything about. Makes no sense to me. And then the Falcons recently hired Raheem Morris. Now, Raheem Morris has been a head coach before. I think his overall head coaching record is 17-31, which is absolutely pitiful. That's almost 6 wins a year back when you played 16 games. But the Falcons really, as of right now, aren't going to get anybody else. I know Raheem Morris has been a failure as a head coach, but a lot of Falcons fans are saying go after Bill Belichick. First of all, Bill Belichick is, I think, either 72 or 73. So if you hire him, you're going to be back looking for another head coach in the next 2 or 3 years. Same way with Pete Carroll. So it was either go after a old head coach where you're going to be back looking for another head coach in 2 or 3 years, or it's hire some rookie coach like the Titans did that nobody knows anything about and just hope it works, or hire a head coach who has been a head coach before and maybe he's learned some things. The Falcons have talent. They've got a few holes, but they have talent. They just can't seem to put it all together. Now, the one team that has not hired a coach yet is the Washington Commanders, and that is because the rumor is they're going after Johnson, who is the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator, and he has already pretty much accepted the job after Detroit's season ends. We'll find out if that's true or not whenever the Lions season comes to an end. And there's been a rumor now for about 3 weeks that as soon as the Chiefs season comes to an end, Andy Reid is going to retire. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But he is, I believe, 65 years old, so he is old enough to retire. But when you've gone through all the off-the-field stuff he has with his sons, it might be best for him to coach, to keep his mind off things as long as he feels okay physically. But he's definitely old enough to retire, and he's definitely made enough money to retire. But if he still feels okay physically and still enjoys being a coach, he might keep going. But there's been a rumor now for 2 or 3 weeks he was going to retire when the Chiefs lose. And generally, when rumors like this are swirling to this extent, there's a reason behind it. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. What is it called when 100 rabbits hop backwards? A receding hairline. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.